What up everyone, it's your man XMan87 here, bringing you another Marvel Legends news video, and what I have for you today is the Hasbro Pulse 1027 reveals for Marvel Legends. Before we get into everything, if you could please leave a thumbs up, like rating on the video, it'll help show your support for my channel and I greatly appreciate it. Now with that said, let's talk about it. We get 3 new Spider-Man Retro Wave reveals, and they are ones I'm extremely excited for that have been on my must-have lists. First one up is a JMS classic to me, and that's the Last Stand Spider-Man. Now this looks great. Not the comic version from the books, as when I did some comparisons, this is the Gamerverse version actually. The head is definitely from Insomniac Games if you look at the eye shape and the seam work on the mask and gloves. But the figure has a double barbell neck. This is what I'm talking about. I love this. That looks to be an all-new sculpt to me, with the exception of the arms, which were reused from the Peter B. Parker, I think. Maybe the feet are reused too, but everything just looks on point here. Love the jacket sculpted on the torso, which looks to have that belly rocker sort of motion. I could be wrong, and it could just be a hard waist swivel. He comes with fists and open hands. I'm happy about this one. Gonna put this one on my Gamerverse shelf, and might get 2 just to have one on my comic Spider-Man display too. Next up is finally a classic comic Jacko Lantern. This is something I have been waiting for. Last one we got was a more modern version from that Hobgoblin Bathwave. If you want to go back before Marvel Legends, their predecessor line called Spider-Man Classics featured the character under the name Mad Jack. So that's pretty much this version of the character here, which the identity of the character got convoluted in the storytelling through the comics. One where it was Daniel Beckhart, and then the other was Mysterio's cousin Terry Beck, and then other times it wasn't her, and then it's both at the same time. Yeah, I'm not going to get into all that, as I'm not here to tell you that entire comic story. It's the figure that matters here, and damn, it looks good. All new sculpted torso and pelvic area with the scales looking really nice. Even the butterfly joints have the scales on them, which is sweet. A folded down hood or scarf, and the pumpkin belts are great additional layers added. He has the Vulcan Bucky cap legs and arms too, just different gloves, a new head altogether, which I'm happy they didn't reuse the old one. Nothing wrong with the old one. That one was dope with the flames popping out of the eyes, but it gives this one a different identity for the figure and character overall. Good selection of accessories, just what he needed. Alt hands, pumpkin bombs, with one of them that can plug into his belt, so that's pretty cool. And his flight disc, which looks so damn cool. And also you could plug one of their mini flight stands to it from untabbing the round bottom piece so you can have them afloat. The mini flight stands I'm talking about are the same ones from the Demogoblin, Hawkeye Sky Cycle, and such. So yeah, those kind. Overall, this is one classic rendition I must have on my Spider-Man Rogues shelf. Next up is most likely to be the fan favorite reveal of the day, which is the Ben Reilly classic Scarlet Spider on the Renew Your Vows body. But look at what they did here. They amped it up. The hooded torso piece is not one solid sculpt like the last one. It's actually the crop top hoodie over the full one. That way you can still have your upper torso swivel and inverted ab crunch to give you that double diaphragm function. So this works perfectly for this design, because unlike the onesie suit that has the spider logo or cobwebbing patterns on them, you don't have to worry about breaking up those patterns and designs that gets unaligned when twisting the torso. So that's a good thing. You don't have to worry about that here, because there is no patterns or designs to break up when posing. I like when they think things through like this. This also gives them the opportunity to fix that belt piece from the last one, because the bottom of the hoodie was sculpted to be form-fitted to the capsule pills on his belt. So anytime you twisted it, the belt would slide down and off to the side in an ugly way, along with those gaps in the hoodie being exposed. It was one hell of an eyesore, man. This belt with the whole torso functionality is a much needed improvement. He does have the butterfly joints underneath the hoodie, which is an advantage for articulation, being that the hoodie is a layer this time around and not a sculpted on torso like I mentioned before. Also, it looks like they may have tweaked the Renew Your Vows arms, as the biceps look a little more raised further upwards on the deltoid muscle. Still looks like it's hanging a little bit low, but not as bad as before. I believe he has newly sculpted ankle pouches too. Don't think they are reused. His web cartridges on his wrist may be reused, but could be new. Everything here looks great. The one thing that jumped at me at first glance are those jagged shaped eyes. They are visually striking, and I think the head is the right size and not too big. Not suffering the big Spidey head syndrome here. It's a great new head sculpt. He has all the standard hands you want for punching, flipping, and crawling. The one thing I would have loved is if the hood was swappable with one to display over his head and folded down like you see here. Having those options would have been great. Maybe next time, but for now, I'm extremely happy with this, and it looks to be a top 10 Marvel Legends contender already for 2024. This wave will go up for pre-order on Hasbro Pulse today, Friday, October 27th, 2023 at 5 p.m. Eastern Time for premium members and 6 p.m. Eastern Time for everyone else. It will retail for $24.99 and slated for a May 2024 release date. Also, one thing to note before I wrap it up, I found it kind of fucked up that they didn't acknowledge the scroll head whatsoever on the stream. They just said we are getting the zombie head and just kept it moving. They should have acknowledged something about it. They could have said something along the lines of, you know, we're looking into verifying that all the international numbers were tallied in, or making sure no technical issues happened, instead of just leaving us hanging like that. You know what I mean? Just say you are looking into it or are considering it, or just tell us we aren't getting it at all. The transparency would be much appreciated. Just throw it in there, guys. That head is baked into the price, so give everyone their value they paid for and not punish the backers because 111 other non-backers didn't want to help out that us backers had to rely on to get it. Otherwise, you're going to get more bad publicity headed your way. Moving on to wrap it up, overall, I'm happy with all these reveals. Lots of new sculpts featured here, and that's a great thing to see. The new updated Scarlet Spider was definitely my favorite reveal of the day, and Jacko Lantern, or Mad Jack, whatever you want to call him, was a very close runner-up to being my favorite. They did tease more Spider-Man reveals, and they are at London Comic-Con currently. I think it's called MCM or something like that. So I'm hoping that the other half of this retro wave is revealed, because these three they showed off here has me excited for what's in store next. If for whatever reason they don't show the rest of the retro wave, then I really want to see Spider-Man 2 PS5 related figures. It's a crime that they don't have any reveals yet since the game came out. Venom and Symbiote Spider-Man are on the top of my list. Hope they do them right, because if they don't, then I will riot vocally. Happy with these, man. Only downside for retro waves is no BAFs, and there are a lot of large Spidey characters still needed to be made as BAFs. You know me, I'm a fan of the BAF system. It's Marvel Legends tradition. I love tradition, and I'm a traditional guy. So I hate completing a wave with no BAF, because I end up not getting rewarded with an extra figure and spending the same amount I would as if I bought a BAF wave. Like the last retro wave, should have had the Goblin King Chasm as a BAF, since they gave us a lot of the supporting characters from that story arc in that wave. I always say this, and people like to argue with me about that, and it's not to be argumentative about it in any way. If you don't like BAFs, that's fine. I'm not here to change your opinion and how you feel. I'm just here to tell you how I feel about that, and my feelings ain't up for debate about it just because I don't feel the same way you do on that subject. I don't get why people attack me because I like BAFs. That's just utterly ridiculous. Straight up, I let you do you, so let me do me and let me be. With that said, we should be getting a lot more accessories to make up for the loss of the BAF. Let's see what the other half brings, but I feel these things should be loaded with accessories without BAFs, as it still feels shorthanded for paying the same amount. Can't wait to see the other half of the wave. Hoping to see some classic comic Spidey characters that still need to be made for this wave. If we get either Cardiac, Swarm, Sin Eater, Bloody Mary, or Calypso, then the wave is an automatic W. Hell, I think half the wave is already a W, but if it has one of the characters I mentioned, then that just solidifies the W even more. Wow, man, what a week it's been. It's been a great week to be a Spider-Man fan. Now I'm kicking it back to you. What do you think of these reveals? Which one is your favorite? And who are your 3 picks to round out the next half of the wave? Comment below, let me know, we'll chat about it. Thank you for watching another Marvel Legends news video. Please follow me on Instagram if you haven't already at xmanny87. Hit the notification bell so you always know when my latest videos are up. Share and subscribe if you're new. See you on the next video. Peace, peace.